What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Nick, and on my channel I talk all about trading Forex, stocks, and trying to be realistic in the world of financial markets. There is a lot of hype out there, a lot of stuff that makes it too good to be true, or tries to hype it up so that they can make sales off you or turn up faces or get views or whatever. But I try and keep it as real as possible on this channel. I do sell things, and with that I do believe in trying to be as transparent as possible with that, just to show that this is something that I actually do, and this is something I've invested a lot of my time, energy, and my own money into. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to show you guys my MyFxBook today. The last few months here, July through now, I've been trading kind of a newer strategy that's actually become one of my absolute favorite strategies in recent times. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to show you guys some of the performance that I've had here on this account so far. It's a little bit, started out a little bit more aggressive and now kind of toning it down just because of the nature of 2020. It has been a very volatile market, so some of these returns are a little bit abnormal than usual, but it actually favors this sort of trading style. So the volatility was actually good for it. So let me real quick, before we get too far, I am going to refresh the page because there is ways to manipulate MyFxBook. For example, you may see people who make a video or something and they can actually manipulate this number by doing this little inspect element thing, and you can go in here and change this. For example, this is totally cheating, right? We could give ourselves 105% and bam, it actually looks like it says 105% there, right? But if you actually refresh the page, this is just a tip for any time you see somebody showing a myfxbook.com account, very important to refresh, because this is a third-party track record tool built specifically to show the reality. So you can see there's the account overall up about 47.42%, and then the absolute gain is money that is overall from the initial investment. But in my accounts, I like to deposit slow and steady, so naturally this number is going to go down over time. But the idea here is basically the gain is how much money you make, or how much percentage you make on the amount invested at that time. So you can go look at the formula if you want. I thought it was pretty interesting and a little bit more mathematical than I'm going to get into on this video. But the basic idea is that overall this account is a total gain of 47.42%, which is very, very high in my personal view, my personal style of trading. I'm a relatively conservative trading person. So when this account is up 47% just from July, that is abnormal performance for me. And this again is only about 3 months. So this is a newer strategy that I've kind of been trading and have been prioritizing based on trend following and going with momentum. Now 2020 has been full of momentum, and that's why this strategy has been doing so well, because a lot of times this strategy is focusing on, okay, if the market is moving strongly to the upside, I want to be looking for opportunities to be riding that momentum. And sure enough, that has led to some really good profitable situations, both when the markets are going down and up, which is pretty cool. So with that said, you can see in July we had an incredible month. 21%. That is very, very abnormal for any sort of trading strategy that I would ever approach. I would not ever expect to make 21% in a month, unless, in this case, this is what happened. I had a few trades that absolutely were just bangers. They just kept going and going in my favor, and I kept trailing stops and eventually stopped out for an incredible gain on the account across the board. So not too bad. In fact, I think, to be completely transparent, I think I may have even been a little bit over leveraged in that situation, taking a rare setup just because of the 2020 nature. So full transparency there. Since then, August was a 13% month, which is massive for any of my accounts that I've ever run. So again, very abnormal performance. September also was really incredible. So we are at September 30th today. So the end of the month, coming out with about a 7% gain on the account as well. So very, very good returns in my personal view. I know there might be traders out there who say, Nick, those are rookie numbers or whatever, but to me, this is incredible and probably not even what I expect going forward. I shoot for, personally, on an account, 1 to 5% per month, because because I'm working with larger capital bases, it's a little bit more, it makes more sense, right? Because 1% of a $100 account is nothing. But if you're talking 1% on a bigger account, it can actually mean more. So you have to put that in perspective. So going forward, I am trading this thing relatively low risk. I'm taking small positions. You can see like today I took, I think almost what is that, a 0.6 point, maybe a 1% loss total today. So not the best day today, but just again, that's how it rolls sometimes. So you can see overall, the interesting thing here with trend following concepts is that a lot of times you're taking a series of losers. You can see times here where basically things are not going super well. It's just going sideways and not making a ton of money, right? And then every once in a while, you get a good trade that starts running. And that's exactly what happened here and here, as well as recently there. We had a nice jump from 41% total gains to 48% total gains. So overall, pretty good stuff. So with that said, let's go down into a little bit more details here. You can see that the max drawdown, so again, I mentioned that this was a little bit more of a volatile account so far, 11.85%. For me, on my trading accounts, usually a 10% drawdown is where I start saying, okay, this is probably a bit too much drawdown. So 11.85%, I'm not extremely happy with that number, but when putting in perspective, when this was, started out as a more relatively aggressive account, being up 47% relative to an 11.8% drawdown to me is more than reasonable, and I'm happy with so far, especially now that I will be scaling back a little bit as I've deposited and plan to deposit more money into this account over time. I'm going to be taking more of a slow and steady approach. So let's move on here and we'll see what we can get ourselves into. Now, this is where things get a little bit interesting. You can see that I've actually only won 19 out of 39 trades, which represents a 49% win rate, which is actually less than half. So you might say, well, Nick, if you're so good at trading or whatever, why aren't you making 80% of the time profitable trades? And the answer is I do not know where the markets are going. I'm not some sort of magical crystal ball guru that knows something that everybody else doesn't know. I'm just a normal dude. I've built trading strategies for a long time in my life, at least 4 or 5 years, which is a big chunk of my young life that I've really invested in and love this stuff, and have been able to develop strategies that, okay, I don't need to win 80% of the time to actually turn a profit. I just need to be right 40, 50% of the time. And that's all that counts, because the winners can be bigger than the losers, which is where you see here that the average win here on some of these bigger positions or bigger swing trades has been a 596 pip profit on average compared to a 72 pip profit loss on average there. So again, I don't think that this is going to hold up for the long term. This has been a really, really good start in 2020 just because of the high volatility, and that kind of favors my trading strategy. I don't expect these numbers to be the same. In fact, also the profit factor here at 2.41 is also very, very high. Profit factor, you can pause the video if you want to read, shows how many times the gross profit exceeds the gross loss. The higher the value, the better, right? So yeah, information that you can find all the other information here just by pausing the video, but you can see that the best trade that I ever had was a big, nice big profit in terms of pips here. I believe that was a SPX 500 trade. I'm not exactly sure, but you can see breakdown here. My long position's about 50% and my short position's about 48% profit. So interesting also, I've taken 25 short trades and only 14 longs. I find that kind of interesting. I think I have an eye for more short trades than long trades. So I don't know. We'll see how that pans out over time. But let's see what also we can find out about this trading performance so far. Again, we already looked at the months here. We looked at the average size of trades. We look at the win percentage, and again, you see about 50%. And again, that's all I really need. So far, I've taken 39 trades, which is a small sample size. And again, as I mentioned, with time and more trades, I kind of expect this strategy not to do as well as this is doing right now. Again, there's a reason they say the terms past performance is not indicative of future results, is because you can, in the short term, in the medium term, even in trading, you can get lucky. And I'm not saying that I fully got lucky here, but I'm not going to claim that it's some sort of massive skill that I have and I'm some amazing trader and I can do this every single month, because most likely I won't. And most likely it will perform hopefully still well, but not as well as this great start to this account. So we'll see. Again, that's just me being as honest as I can with my own trading journal here. I use MyFxBook as a way to track my trades as well as to share with others, hopefully to try and be as transparent as I possibly can in an industry that is not so transparent usually. So I hope this was hopefully insightful or maybe motivational. If you have more realistic gains of trading, I would think that this is pretty good results, and I'm hoping to continue to trade this account over time. Again, kind of a newer strategy for me here in 2020 with all the volatility. I've been kind of redesigning some things, and this has been working well so far. So we'll stick to it, and hopefully it goes well. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you have not, and we'll see you back next time. Thank you.